McDowell, and I am President and CEO of Circle of One Marketing. And welcome back to In the Circle with Suzanne. I have been on hiatus since my Jamaican independent show because it's a lot to do this show. It's a lot to get all dressed up and everything and come down here and find awesome guests, which I somehow manage to do every show. Before I do that, I wanted to just send a shout out to Jamaica. If you watch the show on August 7th, you know that I'm very, very proud Jamaican. And I'm very sad for my country today because yesterday was a bad day. Where I'm from is Kingston, and Kingston and Port Antonio were basically spared. But the west part of the island, which is Negril, Mo Bay, Montego Bay, which is where people go to get married, and tourist industry, which is a third of the economy, those areas are decimated and devastated. And it's terrible. And I asked if you're watching the show to find a way to give to Jamaica, to pray, to care about them, to send something down to your friends in Jamaica and just help us get back to the beautiful island that we always have been. And that we're going to be in the future. It's going to be even better. So I am so sorry we're a little late. I am out of breath because I ran here two fires beforehand. And it's just gotten really, really crazy. We have so many projects coming up. It is October. And this is when the whole thing starts. So Big Brothers, Big Sisters, One United Bank, South Beach Wine and Food, Pro Lodges, Art of Transformation, Jamaican Jerk Festival, all of it. It's just a lot. And so we're very excited and very happy to be busy. So I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'll remember later. Anyway, I am here today with my wonderful guest, the beautiful and talented Rebekah Lanae Lengel. I pronounced that right,
You
right?
did.
Okay, good. Who is the Chief Operating Officer
That's right.
of Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami, and the person that hired us
Yeah.
as your marketing agency. And I am very grateful to be right here with you today. Just excuse me, I'm a little nervous. I drove really, really fast.
It's all right. Well, just take a moment.
There's
a
a
lot
lot,
happening
girl.
in the world.
There's
right
a
now.
lot
We all
happening.
just need to take those moments when we can.
Listen, between Jamaica and just everything. But anyway, life is good.
Life is good. I mean, I did download
Beautiful.
one of those sleep breathing apps last night, and then I deleted it. 2 minutes in. I'm like, this is frustrating me.
You're like, I'm not gonna do
This
this.
isn't working for
I
me.
know.
This is too intense right now.
Because you have to do all this work just to get yourself in the frame of mind
exactly
to be peaceful.
Exactly. And I found out I'm such a bad breather. I tend to hold my breath all the time that when I start doing any of those breathing exercises, I just find I'm out of my breath. Exactly.
I know. You're like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Am I relaxed yet?
Exactly. The plight of perfectionists.
Yes.
Have we relaxed appropriately?
Have we
and
relaxed
sufficiently? And do we get
Can
an
you
A
meditate?
in relaxation?
Why can't you meditate? Those other people can meditate. Why can't you meditate?
I have failed at meditation so
Exactly.
many times.
I know. I failed at meditation too. Anyway.
Yes.
We're going to start this show. It is a 30-minute show,
Yes.
and we're happy to have you here. And I'm going to start this show mainly so that I can be quiet and make my heart slow down. But this is how I always start this show because this is about you. It's, of course, Big Brothers, Big Sisters
Sure.
is how we got together with you, but it's really more about you. So this is how we always start. You were born. And then what happened?
I was born, and then a lot of things happened. And I'm grateful that they continue to happen. Otherwise, the story would be over, and we wouldn't be sitting here right now. But I am a very proud South Floridian, born and raised here, and my background, I think, is very uniquely Miami, as any of us that are from here are able to kind of recognize all the different facets that have built us into who we ultimately are, from cultural to geographic, just to everything. That Miami is just such a unique space that it really can't be replicated in other places. And those of us that are from here have all been imbued with these very interesting aspects that you only find here in the concentration that it is. So born and raised here in Miami, my background was in the arts. Actually started in magnet schools, a product of Miami-Dade County Public Schools, magnet schools.
Great. Miami-Dade County. I love
Yes.
Miami-Dade County Public
Me
Schools.
too.
My
I
kid
am
went.
a huge fan and advocate for them. I think I turned out fairly well.
I think you did pretty
you know,
good.
My brothers did pretty good. I've seen so many other people, so I'm a huge fan of the Miami-Dade County public school system. But
So what school did you go to?
I started at Grounds Park Elementary School in the northern area of the county, and then I went to Norland Middle School for their magnet program.
Norland,
I went to Norland, and I was in the theater
No
program
wonder you're
there.
so cool. I'm down with everything.
So I was in the theater program at Norland under the amazing Charlotte Seward, who I'm sure many of your listeners know, and who passed recently, to the heartbreak of so many of us who just really just followed her for so many years.
Yeah.
And
Probably
then
made a big difference.
Huge difference. And then from Norland, went to Northwestern, was also in the theater program there, switched from performance, had this kind of epiphany moment probably in my senior year as we're all auditioning for all the different colleges, trying to decide what are we going to be when we grow up, the internal question. And I had this moment where I was literally on stage and I thought, I don't love this enough to wait tables for it.
So wait a minute, you were on performing.
Performing.
Like, not dancing or singing, but acting.
Acting.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right. And you're like, I don't really like this.
Well, I just remember thinking, I'm like, I'm not bad. But there's a lot of not bad people that really, really want it and are willing to kind of take it to
and
those
there's
next
really
summits.
good people who really, really want it.
And I just was like, and I don't love this enough to wait tables for it. And I'm grateful for that moment because otherwise I would have gone down a path. And I was like 17. So that was a very blessed moment that I just was able to kind of make that decision.
Yes. You're like 100. Like inside.
Deeply.
Yeah, it's like my daughter, she's so old.
But I knew I loved the arts. And so I just didn't feel the need to be front and center with it. And so it's sort of a parallel to where the rest of my career has taken. So before kind of shifting into the direction where I am currently, I moved from being on stage.
Wait, no. We have to start from the beginning.
I know. I'm going back to the beginning.
You're going back to, okay, good. I was like, I need to find out about your mom and your dad. Okay, great. All right, continue.
So switching kind of back to the beginning, leaving kind of the performance space, and then I switched into being a playwright.
Oh, okay.
And really kind of found that was a better fit for myself, but I still struggled with talking about myself and my own work. I didn't enjoy doing that. And if you're going to be a generative artist, you need to figure out how to
you got to be able
yourself.
to perform.
And I didn't like
cue.
it. Exactly. Yeah. But I found I had no problem talking about other people's work. So that then kind of created this transition into producing, which was great because I'm like, I could talk about other people all the time.
All day long, and not have the spotlight on you. So you didn't like the spotlight.
I didn't love it.
So when you were a little kid, like when you were born, did you like the spotlight?
I'm sure I did because I have memories of like wrangling other girls in the neighborhood to be in the singing group and stuff like that.
You were the ringleader.
I was the ringleader.
You were the alpha. Are you the alpha?
I think actually I'm technically a Sigma. A friend of mine is very into it and has done more research into it.
Oh, somebody can do both.
Apparently, that's
or just an anomaly. Somebody who doesn't really fit in any category, but all categories.
Can kind of, make way depending on what the circumstances require. So,
chameleon.
That is one way.
What are some of the other words like versatile?
Versatile.
Yes. Yeah.
If others have heard the jack of all trades, master of none, which is
master,
always true. So, and it also goes into just as I have grown in my own career too, and I know we're all over the place, but I like to meet other generalists because I'm like, I can throw a lot at you and I know you can handle it and you're going to come up with a lot of ideas around it too.
Sigma. I'm guilty.
So that was kind of that background. And so performance, the arts was always such a huge part of what it was that I did. And I recognized very early on because there was this arts organization that I was involved with, and I was in elementary school that my first year in it was called Peace Child Miami, and the second year was called Voices United. And
oh my God, you were in Voices United? Shut up your mouth. With Katie?
With Katie.
Oh my God. Yes. No way. My daughter was in Voices United.
No.
Yes. Remember the NBC story?
Yes.
That was me. I did that. So my daughter was in that.
That's amazing. Oh, Katie's amazing.
Katie's amazing.
Katie's brilliant.
You were in Voices United.
I was.
That's great.
I was.
Wow.
I mean, way back into the 90s.
You're too young to be in Voices
I
United.
was in it in like the very first years of it.
Oh, wow.
So it was amazing though, because it was, Katie's brilliant. Katie Christie, who is the founder and artistic director of it and started it as a high school student.
When she found out that she was Black.
Yes.
She was like, I'm Black. because she like her whole
Yeah.
family was like, I think it was Greek or Jewish or whatever. And one day they were like, "This is who you are," and she was like, "Oh, I'm Black." And then she decided to have this group that would talk about all kinds of.
And it was this moment that, to me as a young person too, there was suddenly, arts and activism were just inextricably linked. It was always going to be a thing. It was always saw that, okay, arts was the mechanism for people to be able to have the voice, to be able to put the voices out there, because people have voices. We just aren't always listening to them. So Voices United for me just was such this illuminating moment of just like, oh, this is what it means. And it was all a bunch of kids from all over Miami-Dade County.
It wasn't necessarily always art. I remember one of the things, it was like a way to socialize. Socialize these kids. And I remember that whole exercise that they would do that's like, step over the line if you've been the victim of violence. Step over the line if you've ever seen somebody get shot. Step over the line if you've ever been arrested. All these little things which, are adult themes, but step over the line. And then you look at it and you're looking like, oh my God. Yeah. Everybody's over the line, because you realize everybody has experienced something that they're dealing with.
Yeah. We've all kind of fought some type of battle. Even when we're very young, we might be fighting it and aren't even aware of everyone that's around us trying to help us get through it. And so Voices United was 100%, and Katie Christie just 100% are people, when I look back at my own kind of trajectory of my life and my career, that is one that I can absolutely put a pin in and be like, this was a defining moment, a defining human who 100% impacted the way I think and the way I move through the world. So
think about it, like Katie Christie, even though I was a parent, my kid was super young. She affected me too. Yeah. I hunted down NBC national news to get that. Yeah. It was so impactful. Yeah. So you remember Stanley Zamore and everyone? Yes.
Loved it. It was just, the best Saturdays of my childhood.
Best Saturdays. Oh my God.
We would spend every Saturday coming together, singing, dancing. I remember always the parents would come together and sell those big giant muffins from Costco, and we would feel so adult. We got our $1 to buy our muffin, and that was just the moment of feeling some independence and being with just this community of people who were like you, and you didn't necessarily realize it on the surface. So that was really an incredible kind of moment as we talk trajectory and things like that. And so I could absolutely kind of look back at those moments, those people who were certainly, I think, divinely placed to impact where do we go? What are the things that it is ultimately that it is that we want to do, or what we're best positioned to do with the gifts that we've been given.
But also too, to walk through the door. Yeah. Because I know a lot of people that got, same thing. They got somebody in their trajectory and they went the wrong way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you could go, most people have a choice. You can go either door. Yep. And obviously you chose the right door.
Yeah. And and I think what we forget sometimes is we can change our mind again. Like, we can go down the wrong door and then make a U-turn and go back. But a lot of times it's hard to shut down that pride of like, nope, I did the right thing. I always did the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes we don't, and that's okay.
You did some foolishness.
Exactly. That's human. And then just being, smart enough to figure out, okay, now is the pivot point. Now there's a moment where I can make some changes and turn some things around.
But don't you feel like, sometimes I feel like so dumb, because I'm like, I know better. I know, like, better. And you stare at something that's crazy. Yep. And do it anyway, and better. And that's when I start beating myself up, because it's not like you didn't know.
Well, it's that, or that it's sometimes you find yourself repeating the same lessons, and you're just like, okay, what did I miss?
What? I know you told me this the last time.
I clearly am not getting this, so just tell me what I'm doing wrong. Just like bang me with it, because clearly I keep missing what I'm supposed to be getting from this one. So,
do you feel like you're a perfectionist?
I do. For myself. I don't necessarily expect it in others. I do certainly have a high estimation of what others should deliver, but not nearly as high as my own. I mean, and I'm constantly guilty of kind of moving the goalpost, of like hitting that point of success. And it's my own internal of just like, here it is, I've made it. And I'm like, I we could have pushed it a little bit further.
I know.
Which is
Listen,
terrible
it's
from a psychological
terrible. It's
standpoint. But I
terrible.
don't know how to shake that. I would love to get to a point where I'm able to just kind of accomplish the goal and be
And
like,
be like,
I
yeah,
did it.
I'm so awesome.
I did the thing
I did
I wanted
exactly
to
what I said I was
do.
going to do, and I'm awesome. And even then, you're like, okay, I know I said I was going to do, but maybe I should have asked myself to do more.
Exactly.
To do more. Every year, we did Jazz in the Gardens
Yeah.
for 17 years. And first couple of years, I was like in shock because it just quadrupled and blah, blah, blah. But then the next few years, like year from like 5 to like 16, every single year, I would think, nobody's coming. Nobody, even though I had proven it to myself that they were every single year, I would sit there and go, you didn't do enough.
Yeah.
You weren't strong enough. You didn't call enough people. You didn't pitch enough press. You're going to lose. Everybody's going to figure out that you have no idea what you're doing. And then I'll get there and it'd be like sold out.
Yeah. And you're like, okay.
But you stress
Did it
yourself
again.
out for
It is.
no reason.
It is.
But it's part of what I had to realize is that kind of angst and like never really letting myself be fine with it is how you end up being
successful.
The best.
Yeah, it is. But it does come at a cost. And it's what I found is like trying to build the team around you that balances that. So you have some that are all, everyone is always going to be the high achiever and the high performer of it. But you're going to have some that are just like, we got there.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Richard,
we
Wendy,
did what we wanted to do.
Team
we got where we wanted to go. Let's just take a moment and enjoy it.
Exactly.
And then we can move the goalpost
then
again and set the next kind of where we want to go. But let's just appreciate that we made it here. And I think that having enough people, because if it was all like us, we'd be moving that goalpost all the time. We'd never be celebrating.
Or if we only have ourselves to talk to.
Right.
If we're only like, you're so good. Because after a point, you're like, well, am I really if I'm just talking to myself?
Right.
So having other people around you that you can also say are good. And then like, for instance, Wendy and Richard and Flora, like every single one of them is totally different than me.
Yeah.
And every single one of them helps me get from point A to point B. Even though I'm the one that's like the hood ornament.
Yeah.
Oh, they're really in the background making sure the hood ornament doesn't fall off or doesn't kill somebody. So you're right. You really have to have a team and understand. It took me a long time to not be like, I can do all of it. I can do all of it,
Well, it's the both thinking you could do it all, but also then having that sort of primal fear of just like, but what if they're better than me? And I just am like, be better than me. Because if you're better than me, then
I'm like, please. I know.
I want the smarter ones. I want all of that to be around me because, again, it's that rising tides raises all ships.
Yeah.
It's like the better that we all are, the better the team is around us. If we just bring a team of weak people around us, that's not going to look good. And people are going to see through it and also be like, oh, so you can't handle actually being around powerful people to push you.
Yeah.
So I think it's finding that balance. It's finding those people that will check you also is also really important to be able to just be, for them to be like, so.
I know. My poor, sometimes I feel bad for them because I do so many stupid things. I do so much stupid stuff because I'm so different than them. But they will be like, okay, I'm going to need you to calm down. And I appreciate that because I don't know. I'm running my mouth, doing all kinds of craziness. And then, but at some point, it still has to be. And if left to my own devices, I'm like a lawnmower. I'll just go with the, what I mean?
The vision. But
with the vision.
That's your job to have the vision. But it's like you also need someone to be like, all right, now we could do all 7 of these things, but in this timeline, not all now and today. And that's again, that's where that kind of team comes in. And that's
part of you 4 big brothers and sisters. Yeah.
I do definitely. As the operations, there is an element of operations that's a little bit about slowing things down. Just to sort of vet the process. All right, have we thought about this? Have we punched all the holes through things? And it's not always me that has to punch them through. It's like who are the ones that know the work, whether it's our line staff, whether it's board members, whoever is like closest to and has the expertise to it. What do you see that I'm not seeing that we need to pay attention to, or that, okay, how would you adjust this? What are we missing? Because again, like none of us are omnipotent. We don't have all the answers. We have some of the ideas. The more we do, the better our instincts are, hopefully. And being able to say like, I think that's the right way to go. But again, it's about who else is there to make sure and to kind of vet it through and be able to also say, my instinct is saying that too. And then again, it's just that confidence of like, we could do this.
Or somebody, like a lot of times what happens to me, they'll be like, why don't you just do it this way? We achieved the exact same thing, except we do it this. Like one day I was so worried about a proposal and I was like, oh, killing myself for this stupid, I hate writing proposals. Like the proposal we gave you, Richard wrote that whole thing. I hate writing proposals. And then finally they were like, why don't you just put it in ChatGPT? And I was like, it's true. Good idea. But in my like, not young brain, I'm like, but I need to work for it.
You're like, because then I'm cheating.
Exactly. They're gonna know that it's all too smooth. And at the end of the day, my team had to tell me, but you're the one that's gonna end up doing the work.
Right.
So just, you know what I mean? It's not like the words are gonna do the work for you. So so things like that where somebody has to kind of be like, I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
That I know now and I could depend on ChatGPT.
Yeah. I know. I will say my AI experimentation is pretty much started and ended with ChatGPT. I do need to really understand it more.
I know, man.
But I do find ChatGPT is a very useful tool. I know there's all this fear of how AI can replace industries. Not saying it can't. The one I play with cannot.
But this is literally how it can replace industries.
Exactly.
Because we're like, yay, good idea, chat. Yay, good.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, anyway, chat, AI is a whole nother conversation.
It really is.
Very scary, but it's also so useful.
It is.
We're going to go down the rabbit hole of usefulness until you're no longer useful.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway.
So that's a whole nother episode.
Conversation. So, one of the themes that I always discover on this show is that people came from somewhere. People originated somewhere that you might not even realize.
Yeah.
Like the mayor sat here, Mayor Levine Cava, who I adore and love, love, love. And you know what? Her father was a New York City councilman, and her mom was a social worker. And then I looked at her, I was like, that makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? So people who had another friend of mine, Courtney Cunningham, super serious lawyer, very beautiful, elegant, perfect. His dad was like a councilman in his city, and there's like streets named after him. And so slowly but surely, I have interviewed enough people to go, oh, and Terry Williams from Wayne Bank, her great-grandmother, taught her all the stuff she needed to know to run the largest Black-owned bank. But she hadn't thought about it. So who do you think, instead of not Katie, somebody that maybe you're like?
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's a great question. I see it definitely in my grandmother and my mom. My mom is currently a jazzercise instructor after almost 40 years.
You have held it. That's what I'm saying. You held out about your mom and your dad. So tell me about mom.
So she's amazing. Hi mom, because she's
super
watching
cutie,
and listening.
cutie.
She's super cutie, but she's got the entrepreneurialness in her, and I've never quite felt that urge to go completely out on my own.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
A lot.
But she did it, and I watched her doing it. I watched her, creating these classes and coming up with them. She's an incredible teacher. Every time I've seen, sat in or taken any of her classes, and her students adore her. So she's got an incredible gift for being able to build community and bring people in and then translate things that could seem overwhelming and intimidating and but break it down in a way that makes everyone just feel welcome into it, because exercise can be overwhelming regardless of what your fitness level is.
Much. I hate it so much. I love being beautiful, which is why I do it, but I hate exercise. So the fact that your mom likes exercise,
she does,
has monetized exercise and has built a cult from exercise. That's a lot.
It is. It's quite impressive.
Yeah.
Like I said, I am forcing myself to do it anytime I have to do it. Right. So
I think that's times like that. I'm so afraid of needles and that whole thing, but I'm like, maybe I should just, get
a shot, go to quick shot.
Maybe I should do something where I look all different. I'm like, no, it's just involve a needle. I can't help you.
We'll have to try Pilates one day.
Yes, and one day I'm going to get Botox. So Pilates, though, is also so, it is not easy.
No, it's not easy. A friend of mine, a very, very dear friend of mine, was getting her teacher certification for it. And she was like, I need to practice on people. Come let me practice on you. And I was like, sure, why not? And best exercise hands down that I've ever done. Like during the
Yeah.
pandemic, I even bought myself a reformer to be able to do it at
my
home
God,
and
you
all
are
of those things.
so
So yeah, I was. Although then of course, like anything when you do it at home, I found I was only doing the stuff I really liked instead of the ones that I didn't like, which is probably also the ones I need to work on. So
which is why you need an instructor
to be like Rebekah.
Yeah. No, that's
So
like you're doing your playing.
Yep.
So yeah.
So my mom definitely, I think I gained a lot of characteristics from leadership and entrepreneurship and creativity from her. And then my grandmother also was she wasn't a business owner, but she was always involved somehow, whether it was my grandfather's business or supporting her father, who was a furrier, and all of those kind of tentacles were out there with her. And and I saw pictures of me when I was a child, like typing on her typewriter as like little business lady in the works kind of thing. And that was I think the caption written on the photo book too.
So what's your cultural background?
My Eastern European, sort of depending on the year and the war and lines that were drawn.
Oh, wow.
So my grandfather was born in Russia, immigrated to the United States when he was 4. And then there's a little bit of Polish, a little bit of Czech.
Oh, wow.
A little bit of Romanian.
But are you going to do that Angela Jolie thing where you turn into Salt? Remember Salt? And she looked all normal.
I know. And then suddenly she was like superhero agent. I don't know. I mean, if I have any secret agent mass skills, I'd love to know. Like, when do they come out? Exactly. It's like a mutation. What do we need to do to get some kind of X-Men power?
Like Transformer.
Exactly.
You start now, you're like, but in the suit, of course.
Exactly. You have to,
fantastic.
we have to do that. Or the suit somehow has to become Transformer.
Or the suit, yes, itself.
Where it's like we do some little flick of the fabric and then it's like evening gown style.
And it's evening gowns. And then you have a thing in your thing, like a knife. And
exactly.
then you like climb yourself up and do this. Straight food.
I think that means we probably need to do some exercise before we get into that.
We're going to have to work on our Pilates.
We're going to need to do some training in order to start rappelling up a building.
Yes, for the endurance.
Exactly. But, we'll get there. Goals. Once again, we have to have the goals. The goal is to rappel up the building. I don't know if that's actually rappelling or different.
It's rappelling down.
It's rappelling down. Okay, so it's the opposite of rappelling. That is another conversation.
The rappel thing.
Yes.
So tell me, we only have a few more minutes. I'm going to, Rachel's our producer. Hi, Rachel. I'm going to try 5 minutes over, okay? Because I do want to talk about Big Brothers Big Sisters. So how'd you get to BBBS Miami?
So I got a phone call from a colleague that I had previously worked with who was a board member at Big Brothers Big Sisters and was just like, hey, we're looking at creating this role. Would you be interested? And I was like, tell me more.
Sure.
And then the next day she called me. She was like, did you send me your resume? We need to get this in process. I was like, you didn't tell me more yet.
She's like, come on.
But I was really excited about it. I knew the mission. I think a lot of people know the mission and have a warmth around it because they know that there is, a caring adult and a young person who are paired together to create a mentorship relationship. And it wasn't until I joined the organization that I really saw how deep that went, that it wasn't just hey, Suzanne, you and Rebekah are going to be paired and go have ice cream and hang out.
Yeah, I know.
And it was much deeper than that. And, from a staffing perspective, our staff is constantly, monthly checking up on everyone to make sure that the relationships are going well. We have so many different programs, whether it's in school to work, where we bring kids into schools, working with different businesses, working with different municipalities and police departments. I didn't know the depth of it, of what it was that we did until I joined the organization.
And just the building itself is, oh my God.
Yeah, we've got so much.
That building is like a Swiss Army knife.
It is. From, we've got a podcast studio, we have a barbering studio, we've got so much in there that it is just kind of this constant Pandora's box of like, what else is here? And what else can we do?
I always
say, support the kids more.
When you hired us, we thought it was like a 3-4 bedroom house.
Sure.
Like, okay, we could, sure, no problem. And now it's like, a 50-bedroom
Yeah,
house.
and you
we're
keep
like,
opening all the
and
closets
there's another
and
bedroom and another bedroom and each bedroom is so interesting.
Yeah.
That you're like, fine, you know.
No, it's true. And that's absolutely what I learned in joining the organization as well. And I hear it from different stakeholders that we have too, is like they don't know the depth of what it is that we do. And so I was really intrigued at that. I was intrigued at being able to step into the role for the first time and really work with the team to define even what it was. And also I knew how important mentorship had been to me. I mean, we talked about Katie.
Yeah.
There are so many other mentors whom I stand on the shoulders of, who I've learned from, who I've, sat at their feet and watched what they do.
Yeah.
And so I know that that's necessary. And I think, I was actually talking with your producer before we got started. Just before we got started. That's all I was going to say. And, sometimes we all need that kind of like third party who cares about us, but doesn't have as much bias that family can sometimes have.
Yeah, objective.
Just like, okay, I see you, I see where you want to go. These are the ways that you're going to get there. Whereas sometimes family, as much as they love you, they also don't want to see you hurt. And sometimes that protection can cloud judgment. And so having that person that just always has your back, who's there to listen, who's not going to judge, who's going to be able to say, hey, this is the thing that matters. This is the direction you should go. I see these choices that you're trying to, fight with or figure out which direction you want to go. Let's talk them through. To have that, I mean, in my own career, my own life has been invaluable. So being able to join an organization where that's critical, that is the mission, is to put that mentorship out there, was really, really exciting to kind of be a part of. And I think as we continue to grow, as we continue to scale up, as we continue to look at how can we reach more kids, but even beyond that, it's like, what does that mentorship look like? Because we hear from some of the work sites that we work with all the time that a lot of times it's the adults that feel like they get more from it than the kids do. So I do think it is this very dynamic cyclical relationship where it's like, yes, you might be the mentor and the older one, but if both are open to it, those lessons are just going back and forth all the time.
Everybody's getting something out of it. I think, and we all have a little in common.
We do.
So, and I heard you have a good marketing agency.
We have an amazing marketing agency.
God,
it's an agency that I've actually been very excited to work with for almost 20 some odd years.
You knew who we were before you called us?
I did.
No way.
Yes.
No.
I mean, I've been in this field in nonprofit forever. You've been here forever. So it's like yes, Circle of One, Suzan McDowell have always been on the list of the powerhouse marketing and PR firm. So
well, I'm very grateful. Yeah. I'm glad that we're on board because, as you know, we all feel madly in love with you guys. Now we're like, our heart palpitates just when we're with you. So we're excited that we are on board, and we are your marketing agency, which is from a standpoint, you're new. Yeah. So you get to invent your jam.
Yeah.
Who the people you want to work with. You're not inheriting somebody else's vision. You're able to. And Gail Nelson, let's just say a shout out for the indomitable.
Yes.
Gail Nelson. I don't even know how he does every day I open my LinkedIn and it's
I
like,
know.
hey.
I know.
Gail is like, I did this. I did these 14 things yesterday. He is a force.
He is.
So, yeah.
He is indeed. And he also is so passionate about the work that we do that bringing you guys in as a partner he saw the vision. He saw where bringing Circle of One in is really just going to allow us to amplify the work that we do. And I think we're all really excited about it too. Where we're going to go together.
We're going to do some good things together. So if you want to be a big, bbbsmiami.org.
Yep.
And we need bigs. We need volunteers.
We do.
We so need sponsors and donors. Feel free.
We do.
To give as much money as you want.
Indeed.
And
we'll accept
partners and amplification. Yeah. And so that's one of the exciting things that I appreciate about you guys, that you want to do all those things, that you're eager.
And there's so many ways for
things.
People who want to participate to engage within the organization, whether it's writing a check, we certainly won't say no to that, becoming a volunteer, bringing your business in, even if it's coming into our building and being a big for a day, just to kind of see, does this work for me? Does this work for my business? Yeah. Like there's so many different opportunities that we have to be able to bring people in, and just always looking for more of those as well, of like, okay, how can we make sure that we're demystifying simplifying the process, that people understand this is what the commitment is, these are what the expectations are, and this is
The commitment is 2 hours a month, right?
it's 2 hours a month as part of our community program, which is the most traditional one that we're known for. Our school to work program, where we partner the high schools with the local business, we bring them to the company once a month, and they're there for about 4 hours where the mentorship happens. So, but generally it's the 2 hours a month. We do full extensive background checks and reference checks for all of our bigs, because it needs to be safe, and we want to make sure that the families and the parents have that confidence in what it is that we do as well. So it's definitely a process, but once you're in there, we actually have a new feature that we've just unleashed too, that will allow a big who's just registered to see exactly where they are within their process, whether they're
good.
Yeah.
That's because it's a lot.
It's a lot. And sometimes it's like, okay, hey, Suzanne, you still haven't filled out my reference stuff. Can you please do that? It's just a phone call that someone needs to make. So.
I was in my application. I was like, I gotta come back. It's so involved.
It is.
Which is awesome, because you're handing your kid to somebody. You know what I mean? You want to know that
they've been vetted,
that they're
and
not
they've been tested, and
psychopath. I mean, maybe a part-time psychopath, but definitely not all the time. Anyway, thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you. It was good getting to know more about you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So, yes,
it's my honor to be here.
And I love people from the arts. I love, because you're crazy like me.
We are.
And your minds are open. And so when I do something crazy, you're like, that might be a good idea, as opposed to, I wish she would shut up and sit down. So thank you for allowing us to be.
No, it's absolutely my honor. Delighted to be here and to talk with you and share with your audience and all of that.
Thank you. So bbbsmiami.org.
.org.
Thank you.